Hey guys, it is Monday, the 21st. I am going to give you a short recording of what we did on Thursday last week. So, the last time we met, we talked about this poem on page 11 called Invictus by William Ernest Henley. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview, and what I want you to do is if there are boxes on your interactive notebook that you need to fill in, you can pause the video and fill in what you're missing if you need to. So I would use that feature because again, I'm not going to go in depth over this. You guys can read the information and fill it in as we go. Okay, so our objectives. So we're really trying to figure out the theme here. Okay, what's the message of this poem? And then also this one right here is a really fancy way of saying that we're just going to have a discussion about it, which we did that on Thursday. And we're using the methods we're using, strategies we're using for identifying the theme is we are summarizing, making meaning, and explaining what we find in the poem. Okay. So this purple box right here, this talks about what this poem, or who the author of this poem is, and what background information we know about him. Also, what you don't know from this purple box, which is going to be important for you to know in understanding the poem, is that he wrote this poem when he had lost a leg, and this was back in 1875, so a really long time ago. So modern medicine was not super good at the time. So if you were to lose a leg, it was a really risky surgery. You might get an infection that could really, it could kill you or make you very, very sick. And then also the fact that his life is going to be very, very different because there weren't a lot of things back then to make it easy for you if you were missing a leg. In today's world, it's definitely a challenge to lose a leg, but you could still get by. And there are a lot of jobs and things and even accommodations that people will make for you if you are missing one leg that we don't necessarily have or that we didn't have back then. So it's important to know. And so over here, when it says, who is William Ernest Henley and why did he write this poem? What was happening in his life? Well, he wrote this because he was in a lot of pain, and after losing his leg, that was a really big challenge for him. So I'm going to remind you, if you need to fill this in, you should pause the video and fill in that portion. Okay. So then from there, we basically took it stanza by stanza. There are 4 stanzas. And remember, stanzas are a group of lines that the poet uses kind of to organize their poem into like small paragraphs. So stanza 1 is right here. And for each stanza, we read the poem and we made sense of what was in there. And we underlined some keywords. And then we filled in what we thought this meant. And this is supposed to be above it, not about it. But my keyboard seems to not be wanting to let me change it right now. So that's above it. Oops, there it goes. Okay, and then stanza 2. We underlined some things, talked about what they meant, and then over here, that's what we got out of it. So remember to pause the video if you need to get any of those things down. Then over here on this side, we have stanza 3. And this is what our findings were. And in stanza 4, we underline those two things. And that was our findings. So today in class, we're going to be answering the two responses on page 12 using Ace the question. All right, and that was it. So if you have any questions, please send me a message. Thanks, guys.